All right. Oh no, chat went away. Wow. I put a lot of effort into getting the chat to show up on the right-hand corner here. To no luck, to no avail, but not to worry. We're still here, and the stream is working, and that's all you can ask for these days. But welcome back to the NewVote Nevada Twitch stream. My name is Mark. I'm the executive director of NewVote Nevada, and I'm also the guy who does the Twitch streams. And so if you're here, we're going to hang out for probably about an hour, maybe an hour and a half tonight. We'll see how the gaming goes. Now, we have some review to do about the Nevada special session, the Nevada legislature's special session. Lots to cover since we've last talked. I think the last time we talked was maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. And in the time since then, it feels like it's been a trillion years. And so we're going to get into some of those topics and do some kind of news reading here. So let's do that, and then we'll jump into the game. I'm excited to play the game tonight. I think it's last time we finished on a dub. We got a win for the first time ever on the NewVote Nevada stream, which is incredibly encouraging. I'll also say though, I've failed you tonight because today is the release of Kirby Air Riders for the Switch 2, and we could be playing that, but my stuff's not set up for that right now, and so we're sticking to Fortnite. But as somebody who played the original, I'm very much so looking forward to getting on the other side of this stream and playing that. And so, in the meantime, we got to talk about the special session. So give me 1 second, and we'll get that all hooked up here. Right one. Oh, that works. Oh, let's do this one. I like that better. A little branding information. While I get this sorted out, this would be a great time for folks to check out the NewVote Nevada fall survey. And so in the spring, or in the summer, we did a survey where people could tell us how they feel about the issues, right? And so we want to know, what issue is the most important to you? We want to know, why do you feel the way you do about the issues that matter to you, right? What are you thinking about ahead of 2026? And I find that so often in sort of conversations about young voters. People will do anything. They'll speculate any sort of strategy. They'll do anything it takes to win young voters, everything but talk to them, right? And so I think a lot of that comes from that some of the things that you hear are kind of inconvenient, maybe fly in the face of what folks in power want to do, right? But we at NewVote are interested in actually addressing issues faced by young people, right? And so I think a big part of that is finding out what that is. And so we've got this survey up, but we recognize your time is valuable. And so in exchange for taking the survey, you'll be entered for a chance to win a PlayStation 5 or a Nintendo Switch 2 console. So if you win, you choose which console you want, and we send it to you in the mail, or we meet up if you're in Vegas and we get it figured out, right? Now, you might be thinking that sounds a lot like a scam, because most giveaways on social media are. This one's real. We did one in the summer, and the guy who won it, I think his name was Moses, he received his Switch 2 in the mail. I lovingly packed it in a USPS priority mail box, and it got there okay. And so yours would too if you enter the contest and you happen to win. And so NewVote Nevada Fall Survey Sweepstakes. There are a lot of terms and conditions that I can't just like recite to you verbatim right now. But if you go on the website, you'll see them all. You'll have all the details you need, and you can get that going. But also, you're providing us valuable information to help us better represent your interests as young Nevadans in the work that we do. And so, worth checking out. Appreciate you checking it out, and hope that you will. In the meantime, let me get the browser set up here. Copy. We're making it happen. Awesome. So, I forget the exact date, Context, I'm thrown out of whack as well. My whole schedule has been messed up this last week and a half. I got married on the 11th, which is crazy. Um, Super fun, amazing. Highly recommend doing it. 5 stars. But at the same time that happened, the Nevada legislature went into special session. I want to say like the day after or shortly thereafter, which is like, you know, not ideal time for keeping up with things. But I've been catching up, and wild stuff. We had everything from kind of interpersonal drama. We had the film bill fail, which is a huge thing. The Summerlin Studio thing that people have been talking about for a long time fell apart at the last second, right? We had a housing bill introduced to limit corporate home ownership in Nevada. And that's a huge priority for, I know, a lot of people who took our summer survey, is the cost of housing, right? And so we saw some legislation about that. That also failed, I believe. But that was an interesting topic to talk about. And then we saw at the last minute here kind of a law about mail ballots and sort of expanding the mail balloting we have in Nevada and enshrining it into the state constitution, a number of things. And so we'll get into it. We're going to look at some articles from the Nevada Independent here. And, we'll talk through it here. But so this one, Nevada Senate rejects a film tax credit expansion, killing marquee bill of special session. Next week, we're also going to talk about this because our buddy Christian from Rise, Nevada, was really in the weeds on this and showed up to testify and gave a great public comment on the issue. And I don't want to steal his thunder on that because that's such a cool moment. I want him to be here when we talk about it. But in the meantime, I want to provide the context as to what happened. And so the article says the Nevada Senate rejected the bill to massively expand Nevada's film tax credit system on Wednesday evening, killing the star-studded multi-year effort from major movie studios to supercharge the state's film industry. And so it says the heavily lobbied bill would have put Nevada on the hook for $120 million in annual transferable tax credits to film companies for 15 years beginning in 2029. And so when you think about how much money that is, right, that's $120 million a year in tax credits for 15 years. That's not nothing, right? And so some of the stuff that you were seeing, some of the pushback that you were seeing on this bill was the sort of need to fund other state services, right? We think about the way that things are going in the country right now, the way that everyday people are feeling the burden of this moment financially, to think that we would then be giving out, $120 million a year for 15 years is crazy, right? And so lots of takes on that. That, of course, was the opposing side. The supporters would have said that it, improves Nevada's economy, that it diversifies the economy, which is something that I think we all agree is desperately needed. And that, it would create jobs in the state, both construction jobs and jobs after the fact. And so finding your place in this debate is more or less weighing, the tax credits and sort of the wealth of the corporations that are asking for them with the immediate needs of the state, and the possibility of creating new jobs and diversifying the economy, right? And so you weigh those two things together, and that's where you'll find your position on the topic. But in any case, the Nevada Senate last night said their stance was no, but that didn't always seem super for sure, right? Like that didn't seem like a guaranteed thing. And so it's been interesting to watch it play out. It passed the assembly, and it was introduced by Sandra Haragi, who is an assemblywoman here in Las Vegas. She's running for lieutenant governor next year, but a Democrat, right? And so you had Joe Lombardo, you had Sandra, all working towards the same thing, and sort of the bipartisan way that it was introduced in terms of both sides of the aisle having some stake in this. There was also sort of a bipartisan effort to defeat it. And so you saw some really weird sort of cross collaboration between like some of the most progressive progressives with some of the most conservative conservatives coming together to basically say, we think this is a bad idea, and we should not be doing this, right? And so the article touches on that, says it is a victory for progressives and conservatives who formed an unlikely alliance to kill the bill. There was a failed effort in the assembly to kill the bill on the first day of the special session using a little-known procedural move. The bill narrowly passed the assembly on Sunday, 22-20, but it needed approval from the Senate for it to reach Lombardo's desk. The bill's defeat could have political implications for next year. In a statement, Lombardo said, "I appreciate thoughtful policy discussions about how to bring new, good-paying jobs to Nevada and further diversify our economy. Since taking office, my administration has been focused on expanding opportunity and blah, 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 blah." Anyway, you can read it. But so basically, the bill that he called the special session to pass failed. And sort of his statement is like, hey, we tried, good game, right? And that's, pretty boilerplate. Washoe County Commissioner Alexis Hill, who's a Democrat running for governor, said in a statement that, quote, "It is a victory that belongs to everyday Nevadans. Students who spoke out, groups like AFSCME, teachers, and community members made their voices heard, and we won," the statement said. And so I think that that's an interesting statement because, this is something that would obviously affect the Las Vegas economy probably more than anywhere else. And you think about, the amount of tax dollars that would be, for lack of a better term, handed out to these film studios as an incentive to build here in Nevada. I'm sure in some capacity, the benefits could extend into places that aren't Las Vegas. But I could certainly see if I'm like a guy living in Elko, right, and I'm struggling to make ends meet, and you're telling me they want to put, a movie studio in Las Vegas and I'm going to pay for it. I could see where that would be frustrating. And so, yeah, I think that that's certainly an interesting thing. But it says sources familiar with the negotiations said the Senate vote came down to 3 lawmakers who ultimately voted no: Senator Edgar Flores, Melanie Schiebel, and Angie Taylor. And then apparently Assemblywoman Taylor told the Nevada Independent that the decision was grueling and said, "We know we needed economic development. We certainly absolutely know that we need the jobs. I just couldn't get comfortable with the numbers." And so here's the interesting thing about this bill is the fiscal impact section here. It says it underwent significant changes throughout the legislative process. The initial version was proposed in February during the legislative session to placate skeptics of the proposal's economic viability and potential to help those outside the film industry. The final version of the bill increased investment requirements from film production companies, requiring them to invest $900 million in construction by the end of 2030 and $1.8 billion in capital investment by the end of 2039, or else the yet-to-be-created film studio project in Summerlin would be subject to a lien. And so basically, if they didn't meet these spending benchmarks, the government would be able to put a lien on their property, and basically they would owe money. It also would have created a special tax district in Summerlin where an estimated $11 million annually would have gone to pre-K programs in the Clark County School District, funding about 1,290 seats out of 27,000 children eligible for pre-K. And so, more money for education is always good, but I think it's, $11 million compared to the $1.8 billion, or not $1.8 billion, the $125 million a year, I think is sort of where it gets a little dicey. However, these initiatives were not enough. There was a significant opposition campaign from progressive groups and the American and AFSCME, the largest union for state workers. In recent days, opponents highlighted estimates from legislative fiscal staff that the state budget will be in the red for at least the first 2 years of the program. The projections expected in the final balance of the state budget in fiscal years 2030 and 2031 would be about $100 million and $260 million respectively. Below the required balance, deficits that would not occur if the tax credits do not go through. So basically, that means that if they don't pass the bill, there's not like a problem, right? There's not a budget deficit. But if they do pass it, there is. And so it's almost like you're creating a problem. It says to make up for these deficits, the state would have to either raise revenue or cut services. So that means taxes, or that means fewer government services. And much love to the state of Nevada, but at the same time, there are definitely places where we are not quite up to speed when it comes to government offered services, right? I think we can all agree that the roads in the state need some work. I think we can all agree that the schools could need considerable work, right? The list goes on, right? And so to have to even think about cuts just to make these tax credits work, me as a guy, the math doesn't quite math. I don't know. Call me crazy. But it says a state commissioned analysis on a previous version of the bill found that it could generate significant economic activity, but the amount of tax revenue government entities would recoup would fall far short. That's a tough one. Of breaking even with how much government's invested. The study was conducted before the stricter investment requirements and was slightly more pessimistic than the backer's own economic analysis. Of course, that's, you're going to sell the best version of your plan, right? Although proponents acknowledged the tax credits themselves would generate a negative return on investment, they argued that the program would have created more jobs and result in more money in residents' pockets. And I think that that's fair, right? Like, if you are currently not working in the film industry and they open this film studio and they have tens of thousands of jobs that become available, right? You get trained, you go and you start a new career. Theoretically, yeah, you could make more money. But at the same time, it is a thing where it's like the only thing we can be sure of is that it's going to cost a lot of money and the return is not phenomenal. And so, yeah, let's see. Trying to skim through some of the highlights here, but I also am getting a text from Angel. Angel's going to be on. Cool. I'll hop in Discord. Please. Great. Nailed it. Okay. I'm in there. I'm ready. Cool. And so, all this to say, lots happened on this, but ultimately it failed. And so, as of this moment, the Summerlin Studios project that I feel like you hear so much about on social media, you see Mark Wahlberg running around town talking about Vegas being Hollywood 2, not happening, right? And sort of unfortunate because, in some ways, because it's like I want more cool things near where I live, but also I don't want to waste money, right? And I don't want to, give money to people who don't need it. And I've never looked at a movie studio and thought, gosh, they could really use a hand, right? I've never looked at Warner Brothers and thought like, oh man, they need, they need my help, or like a Paramount. I think they're doing okay. I think they'll be fine, right? If they wanted to build a studio in Nevada, they could probably afford it on their own. Hot take. I don't know. That's just me. There goes my career in the film industry. Cool. And so this next bit is the Nevada lawmakers advance. Actually, I gotta turn off the streamer so I get the notification when people join. But so Nevada lawmakers advance mail ballot constitutional amendment and last minute move. This was interesting. And so basically the headline here says it would enshrine universal opt-out mail ballots in the state constitution. It now heads to the 2027 legislature, where approval sends it to voters in 2028. And so an interesting process here. So it says, in a surprise move, the Nevada legislature advanced a constitutional amendment on Wednesday to codify the practice of sending mail-in ballots to all registered voters, which has long been opposed by Republican Governor Joe Lombardo. SJR 1, introduced late Wednesday evening, would require a county clerk to send each active registered voter a mail ballot within a certain time frame and would allow individuals to choose not to receive a ballot. And so that's how things are right now, right? You get your ballot in the mail. You can opt out if you'd like to, but unless you opt out, you're getting a ballot in the mail. These provisions are already in Nevada law, but the amendment would enshrine them in the state constitution, making it harder to overturn. The resolution did not receive a hearing, and its existence was publicly revealed for the first time shortly before lawmakers voted on it. So that's interesting because it is, I think, widely accepted that mail ballots and drop boxes and sort of all of the changes that have been made in recent years are positive for voter turnout and are positive for democracy, right? In a sort of lower D democracy kind of sense, right? And so, putting this in the Constitution obviously would protect it from being easily overturned or being easily changed away. And so I think that that's sort of the goal of the legislation. In terms of the specifics, let's dive in a little bit further. So it says, as a resolution instead of a traditional bill, the proposal does not need Lombardo's approval and can pass with a majority vote in the legislature. It will now head to the 2027 legislative session, where approval would send the measure to voters in 2028. And so I guess because it's a resolution instead of a bill, it sounds like it gets approved and then it goes to the legislature again, and then it goes to the voters. Which is cool because you'll get to vote on that in 2028. That'll be a pretty high turnout election, and so hopefully people will decide to keep the mail-in ballots and to put them into the state constitution, because I think with stuff that helps people, the more you can do to protect the policy, the better. It's like putting the right to an abortion in the Constitution. It's like stuff like that shouldn't be subject to political whims, right? Like your ability to vote in an easy way shouldn't be just like, oh, well, the next governor decided they don't like that, and so we're going to get rid of it. It shouldn't be. It should be more accessible and like on a long-term sort of point of view. So it said we had a lot of work to do. We had a lot of business to do here at the legislature. A lot of pieces of legislation that had to be moved. Resolutions do not require committee hearings. While we were prioritizing committee business, this was something we had ready to go. And that was from Nicole Carnazaro, who's the Senate Majority Leader out of Las Vegas. It says the proposal did not need to be a part of the governor's special session agenda to be brought before the legislature because it's a resolution. The governor's office declined to comment. Okay, so that's a little salty there. A little salty, but that's what happens, right? That's politics. It says the measure also includes provisions that would expand access to mail ballot drop boxes. Oh.
Hello.
Hey, what's going on?
Not much. Just rounding out the day. Excited to play a little bit of Fortnite. How are you?
I'm good. Let me fix my audio real quick because you're coming in a little low.
For sure. It might be on my end. Let me double check.
Cool. I'm curious, when you get back, I would love to hear your thoughts on the special session, if you've been looped in on all that. All right, and for chat, we will pause the reading now because I've got to be polite. I've got to speak with people. So we'll pause the news reading and we'll pick it up next week. But this has been lovely. Okay. How do I invite? There we go. Invite. Oh, there we go. Cool. And so we'll wait for Angel to get all set up with the microphone, that sort of thing. Fortnite right now, very interesting. Simpsons themed. Simpsons themed, and then also apparently, what's his face? Quentin Tarantino is doing something with doing something with the Simpsons or with Fortnite. And so just a whole lot going on, frankly, and not quite sure what to make of it. But maybe Angel will have some insight into that when we get to it. They got this game. This game really trips me out. We've got Labubu pillars, cars, mega ramp, asphalt. Just there's so much going on in Fortnite at any given time. I'm almost afraid to see what the other user created modes
Does
are.
it sound better now?
Oh, it sounds great now, actually.
All right, perfect. Sorry, it took me a minute because I launched the game and for some reason it didn't save my settings from last time, so the screens were all freaking out.
No, all good, dude. I'll tell you what, I'm on the Fortnite main page and it says for you based on your play history. And one of the options is Labubu Pillars. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know that I've ever played anything Labubu related. And so I'm number one, shocked at their presence in Fortnite. Number two, feeling a bit attacked right now, Angel, if I'm being honest with you.
Why attacked?
I don't know.
What's wrong with the little fuzzy things?
There's nothing wrong with them, actually. I'll say that. I think Labubus creep me out a little bit, but I love like I got Kirby Air Riders today. I'm psyched for Kirby.
Hell yeah, dude. I picked that up too earlier.
Dude, let's go. Were you an air ride guy back in the day, or?
Of course.
Yes.
Would always play that with my cousins.
City Trial is the most fun game mode in which I feel like I haven't accomplished anything at all. But I was so excited when they did the soundtrack release and they had the original City Trial song, but like with a full orchestra and stuff. I was like, this is how I heard it on the GameCube, but this is like just what it is now. Like it's crazy.
Right.
I've been joking on on Discord and all that, talking to my buddies about it. And I'm like, we used to pray for times like these. Like we are in a outside of all of the other things happening, this is the best. Like this is a great time. Just ignore everything else.
it is a golden era of video games. Like with the game of the year list dropping, there were so many gems today, and they just not today, the gems this year, and they just keep on coming.
Yeah, I mean, we talked last time about how I'm like a Nintendo fanboy, and for me, this year has been crazy because you get Mario Kart, you get the Switch 2, you get Kirby Air Ride, we're getting a movie.
Tell me about it. I'm a big Pokemon fan too, and ZA was fun as hell. Yeah, I'm a day one Switch person too, so I feel it. We've been eating good.
Yeah, we sure have. The Galaxy thing too. I keep forgetting that we just have Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 on the anyway. I could go on for like 30 years here, but what I will say is the special session. Were you following that? Were you guys involved in that? I know that Christian, who I think is going to be joining us next week, was super amped about the special session. Have you been following it?
I've been following it, like I've seen Christian's post, and shout out to Lorencita, who's been posting stuff about it. My organization didn't participate because we've been working on a big project that we announced last week called Seeds of Relief. Where we bought over $133 million worth of medical debt and forgave it.
Yo,
it's been super busy. Yeah.
What did you do? Well, hang on. Pause. That's crazy shit that you just said. Number one. Number two, if you want to ready up in the game, not to be that guy, okay. So you guys bought $32 million, you said, in medical debt, and then forgave
133. Yeah.
133. Yeah. That's
in
crazy.
Nevada, in Washoe and Clark County.
How much does that cost? Not 133 million.
I don't know the specifics. I wasn't part of our staff who was like a part of that. So they debriefed us, but I forgot the numbers. I'm not sure if they have it on our website. We have everything on there on our seedsofrelief.com. But medical debt is fake. It didn't exactly cost the 33 million or the 133 million. It was a lot less, and we were able to negotiate it down to equal 133 million, But super excited to have been able to do that. We're actually tomorrow we're gonna announce our block party celebrating the event at Springs Reserve. So
Yeah.
you know, if anyone wants to find the details, we're gonna post it tomorrow on our social media. But December 6th, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. We're gonna have a block party with free food, music, and giveaways and stuff, celebrating the program.
Dude, that's like next level direct. What? Hang on. What the fuck's happening here? What is that? This is The Simpsons now, like fully, like not just a little bit. This is.
We don't play for 2 weeks, and now The Simpsons are like the thing in Fortnite. This is insane.
Yeah, this is
This
nuts.
is not a real game.
Yeah, because I know that it's The Simpsons. I didn't realize we were in Springfield. That's kind of crazy.
Right? Oh, wait, let me drop with me.
The duality of the streams, though, is so funny. You're just dropping like, oh yeah, we forgave $133 million in medical debt, and then the Simpsons theme song starts playing, and it's like, wait a second, hang on, pause.
And then John Wick is in the air riding a little hovercraft.
Yeah, dude, this is a really a blessed game. And so, okay, so I mean, we have to talk about this. Oh shit, I'm dead. I'm dead already. That was not.
I'm trying to land on the guy who killed you. Oh, but he's about to murk me.
Oh no.
Yeah, he murked me. Oh
okay.
My god.
It gives us more time to talk. So, I mean, that's amazing. Kudos to you guys, because like that's like next level direct action. I mean, that's going to tangibly change like thousands of lives. Maybe tens of thousands of lives. I mean, that's
definitely. From the onset of the year, we started our. Oh, my game just crashed. Lovely. More time to talk, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
But from the onset of the year, we started our Cosecha program, where you know we're a relatively new organization. We turned 6 years old this year, but you know throughout the years during our canvas, we always ask people, you know, what issues are you facing the most, and like rising costs and medical debt were some of the things we heard a lot of. And this year we wanted to do more since it's an off year, right? Aside from ledge session. We wanted to do more to, you know, help the community that we're in and everything. So we've been doing those giveaways, and this is kind of an extension of that. And it's just the first round. We're looking into ways in which we could do it in other states and see what we could do more. But yeah, this is just the start, and I'm super excited to, you know, hear people's stories. Letters go out next week on the 24th. Wow. So like no one has to apply, no one has to do anything. It has been bought and everything, but we are sending letters to, you know, notify people because it's the only way they'll really know, right?
Yeah.
And asking them to share their story for the folks who received the letter in the mail. So if anyone watching, you know, is in Nevada, you know you had medical debt, it might be bought out. Check your mail next week.
I mean, Jesus Christ, dude. Like that's so good. Like that's like that's next level cool shit to do. I'm very curious how much it costs, because like, man, here's the thing, I'm never gonna win the lottery because I live in Nevada, right? But if I'm like if I'm a little tipsy at the airport and I hit it big on a Buffalo Link or something, like I don't know, maybe after I buy a house, I'm gonna buy some medical debt, because that's such an OP way to change somebody's life, right? Like that debt is crushing. And so man, I mean, kudos to you guys. I'm out of words to say that that's so good, but that's so good.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm excited to do more. You know,
of course. Yeah, I wish that we had the resources to be right there with you. But one of these days, 10 years from now, let's buy medical debt together. I'm on it.
Well, like that, but also like. We're also coupling, like we're hoping it helps people, but also it shouldn't be us doing it, right?
Right.
It's a systemic issue that plagues the everyday working people here. Like it's been crazy to hear people lose their homes, not be able to, you know, provide for their kids or anything like that because this medical debt is looming, and just the nature of it being so like. So fucking fake, you know?
It's fake.
It's like they charge you for like the most randomest shit, and it expect you to pay an arm and a leg. And people don't have that kind of money, especially right now. And that's a systemic failure. So, you know, like we're grateful to be able to do it, but definitely it's on our government to solve these kinds of issues.
For sure. Like, I mean, it's
that's the future we're advocating for, but yeah.
It's outrageous to think about. Like the classic thing is that you get your bill and you ask for it itemized, and then come to find out, you know, they charged you $75 for a single dose of Tylenol, right? It's shit like that. And
or like $100 for a fucking Band-Aid, God forbid.
Yeah. And it's like, dude, like there's no way here's the thing. It's like there's zero shot that that's operating in good faith, right? It is just so obviously a scam that sort of like the nation, you know, like the United States as an institution has accepted and encouraged for years and years and years. And like it benefits nobody but the corporations that actually that profit off of it. And it's like there's any reasonable group of people would look at that and say, we can't do that anymore. That's insane. But unfortunately, it just hasn't happened yet. And it's like, respectfully, what the fuck? Like, I'm not going to do that. You know, like I'm not going to pay you $500 for a fucking bandage. Like I'm not going to do it. Like, I will not be scammed in that way. You know, maybe free V-Bucks, I'll be scammed, but certainly not for a Band-Aid.
Right.
But, yeah, man, the more that I think about the healthcare system, the more upset I get. And, you know, it's not to this again. It's not to quite the level that some people deal with it. But so, you know, over the last 2 years or so, my grandmother was struggling with dementia, right? And so she's not like she wasn't like a super wealthy or like had it figured out, you know, kind of person, right? She was just like your standard old lady living on Social Security in a sort of like assisted living, not even assisted living, but like a senior housing complex. And so it's like lower rent. And so like even with sort of subsidized rent in Massachusetts, like on Social Security, like there were like no options for her and her dementia. Like when she reached the point where she could not be cared for, like by my mom, like responsibly, it was like there were no options. And at that point, it's like, she's done everything right, you know, like she worked her whole life, she did all this, you know, and she has health insurance through the government, right? And still, the costs themselves were outrageous. And then her ability to actually find a place to stay is crazy. And then it's like here in Vegas, you go to a casino and there's a guy betting $2,500 a spin on slot machines.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
have we lost the fucking plot?
And the answer is yes, right? Like, for sure, because it's like, you know, obviously, things cost money. Oh shit! Somebody's shooting. Is that you?
No, that's me.
Oh, okay.
I should have just used my thing.
No, you're good. Thinking. But you know, things cost money, and I understand that. And you know, the American sort of mantra of not wanting to do handouts or whatever, like whatever the bullshit is that keeps us trapped in this cycle. Like I get all that.
Not
context.
Handouts for the people, handouts for corporations.
Right, exactly, right, exactly right. And so I don't know. It was just devastating to have to deal with, and the stress that my mom had, kind of like thinking about things like, okay, am I gonna have to, like, she took FMLA and then like ran out of leave, and then it's like, what do you do then? And I was like, Ma, you gotta like. It's a tough conversation. And
no, definitely, I feel you. Like during COVID, my great grandmother, she got it, and it kind of onset her dementia and everything, and we had to deal with like a similar situation. And luckily, we had each other, where we had a family member, you know, who could step in and everything. But like, this shouldn't be a worry, like systemically, right? Like you shouldn't have to give up everything just to take care of a family member. As much as, you know, we you know, want to do it out of, you know, out of love for them and everything, like it really, what's the word for it, like detracts your course in life and everything. And
Oh, for
it's
sure.
horrible.
For sure. If it's, because if you drop everything to help a loved one, like, that's admirable, but also, like, what is that? Like, if my mom had quit her job, right? Like, what is that? Where does that put her, right? She's now unemployed and sort of, like, having to care for her mother. But then whenever, whenever that season passes, right? Like, what are you gonna do? You got to rebuild your entire life, and it's probably cost you an arm and a leg. And it ultimately, I think it comes down to, like, is this a country where we think that people should be in those should, like, be homeless at 80 years old with dementia because XYZ reason? Like, I just it boggles the mind. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. But anyway, so I appreciate what you guys did, is the long way of me saying that. Because Jesus Christ, gotta fix the whole thing.
No, 100%. But yeah, back to special session. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
even after all that, love that our legislators put together an emergency special session for the biggest handout ever. In the history of our state.
You just made me mad again. God damn it. That's such a good point. That's such a good point, right? It's like all of this is happening and everybody's broke, and, like, we're doing round 2 of the survey. Oh, we got bad guys this way, by the way.
For sure.
Oh, and to the right. Let's push front, though, because that's pretty consistent.
Oh, boy.
Oh, dude, you got the chainsaw still?
Yes. Yes, sir. I just picked it up.
Oh, that's you.
Oh, it's Krusty? Krusty the Clown? You can catch the smoke. He's dead.
Dude, we just killed Krusty the Clown.
Do you want his signature?
Oh, there's bad guys over here with Homer.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, here they are. We can third-party them. Okay, we downed one of them.
Are they fighting Homer? Oh,
yeah.
Shit. No, it is Homer.
Well, there are Homers, but we killed the guys fighting Homer.
Okay, gotcha. Why is there so many? What are they doing? Oh, they have the legendary.
Oh, I got sniped.
If you want one.
Oh, right here.
On my way.
Oh, no.
They all came out of nowhere.
Yeah, well, we third-partied them, and then they third-partied us. But that was a one-shot. That was a one-shot gun, whatever that was. So we gotta get into that. But anyway, I was complaining that all of this is going on. People are broke, and we started the survey again, round 2, and I'm already seeing people talking about how they can't afford to live, and, like, they're really concerned about whether or not they're going to be able to find a place that they can afford to buy a house or rent a house or whatever. And it's like, to then have a special session called about giving money to Warner Brothers or whatever, it's just like, it's just exhausting in how dumb it is. Like, not even how dumb it is, 'cause that's probably a bad word for it, but just like, it's so craven, How
out of touch.
Yeah.
It's out of touch. But simply, like, I get how the proponents of the bill, like, would say, it creates more jobs and everything like that. But the history of these kinds of things, like, shows that the impact long term, like, it's a very short term focus, right? Like, instead of helping people out tangibly, we're gonna give a corporation who, like, I can't give you, like, an example, and I'm sure there's a plethora of examples of Warner Brothers and, like, Sony being horrible, treating their actors horrible, like their stagehands horrible and everything. We're just gonna give them basically a blank check. Wasn't it that the legislative bureau, like, said that for every dollar invested, we'd only get like 20 something cents back?
Right. Which is like, yeah, I mean, that's the crazy part about it, is there's so many, and that's the thing, there's so many parts of it that are, like, sort of just, like, frankly offensive. just offensive in their cravenness and their out of touchness that it's like I don't know what to add to the fury about it, because it's like even if because here's the thing, objectively, yes, if we built a movie studio in Summerlin and they brought all of these jobs to Nevada, like people will benefit from that for sure. But I think the question is like, does the math for giving these people tax breaks, right? And also, like, do they need it? And why are they unwilling to build in Nevada without them? Because it's like, pay your taxes. Like I'm glad that you're going to come to Nevada, but pay your fucking taxes. Like, yeah, that's how it works. If they're
if it wasn't such a gross like handout, I feel like it would be more popular. But like it is an absurd amount of money that they're not gonna give back to the local, like economy and everything. That it's just baffling.
Right. Well, and that's sort of what I said at the beginning of the stream. Was I was saying like, listen, I'm not opposed to the idea of a movie studio in Summerlin, right? It's like when I was living in Massachusetts, they wanted to build a casino in my hometown, and like there were a million reasons why a casino was not a good fit for my hometown. And so I went to the meetings and we sort of organized around it. And I'm about to get shot at. I am running to get high ground here.
Oh God. Oh, I'm getting shot at from behind too. We got the person behind.
Oh, okay. I'm meeting up with you. I'm with you, but...
Oh, they're building. Oh, we're not doing zero build.
Oh, we're not on zero build?
They're down,
nice.
Down.
Okay.
I'm carrying them. They're coming with me.
That's very funny. That's the funniest possible thing that you can do in that situation. Why do they let you carry them? Just to troll?
I have no clue. I'm assuming.
God, I love that. That's so stupid. Okay, that other guy is this way.
I'll be with you in a sec.
Oh, he's on top of this building. Oh, he's right on me.
On my way. Oh God, what? Okay.
Oh, he's okay. Definitely a bot. Almost certainly a bot. Either a bot or I'm suddenly cracked at this game. But that was very simple.
You deserve those wins. Let's go. Not a bot, actually.
Right, not a bot.
There's this if you want it.
What is it?
It's a purple assault rifle.
Ooh. I would like that, actually. As a matter of fact.
Where's this box?
Okay, so what were we talking about before we were viciously attacked? The movie studio.
Yeah.
So I was saying that, like, I'm not opposed to the idea. It's not like I think that it's a bad idea for the community. I just think that we shouldn't be paying for their taxes. Like, they should just pay their fucking taxes, essentially. And so, if Warner Brothers wants to move to Nevada, they should. But, like, should we pay $120 million a year for, 15 years or whatever? Like, probably not. Like,
yeah,
it shouldn't. I don't get to... Yeah. I think I bring value to the community, and they don't pay my taxes.
Oh my God. I think what... I don't remember. Was it Sony or Warner Brothers? Because this might change my opinion.
Oh, okay. I want to say it could be...
Either way, I think both of them deserve smoke. I don't have examples for Sony, but like Warner Brothers, the way they've been like canceling a lot of great shows, especially animation shows, and just like throwing their stuff away, doing like these mergers and everything, like it's like
behind us.
Oh God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm dead.
Oh, I'm about to be dead. Yeah, that was crazy. I just don't run fast. I don't know what the deal is.
It's all good. 20th, I'll take that. That's a win in my book.
Yeah, that's the same thing as number 1, frankly.
Yeah.
But so no, I agree. So I mean, talk more about that, because that's I remember the Warner Brothers thing when they did the Acme movie with the Coyote. They canceled that, and that was a whole deal. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, definitely. Like they did it for like a tax write-off or something. The film was basically done, and then they couldn't pay out their workers who like spent all that time animating. I mean, they've been doing that and then taking stuff off of streaming. Like I know I haven't seen like a lot of these animated shows, but I know like Infinity Train had a lot of critical acclaim, and like now you can't find it anywhere. That's a Warner Brothers thing. What's another one? Like I think even with their current, you know, things like Adventure Time, super popular. They came out with Fiona and Cake, like a new thing in that same universe. They did no advertising for like the second season, and it's not like doing that well, despite like how popular it was for the first season. And it's like, this is my company, dog. This is a company this is a studio that's gonna run that's supposed to drive economic like prosperity here, you know, like how if they're doing these shitty practices with their with the shows and films that they already have, like how can we assure that like that money's actually gonna come, you know?
Yeah, I think that's a great point, and because it is something where you watch them be like just very incompetent, and then it's like, oh, okay, so like you're suddenly gonna get really smart, or how does this work?
No.
Or you're suddenly going to care more. And I think I felt that way about the Athletics and the A's stadium, because it's like there is no worse story in baseball than what Fisher has done to the Oakland Athletics. Like,
my game crashed again.
Dude, my computer was doing that for a minute a while ago. Let me know when you're all booted back up, and I'll
validate the files when we get off. It's all good, though.
Whenever you get back on, I'll quit this game. In the meantime, I'm going to make a futile run for the top here. But, you know, the A's were the same way, where it's like, we're going to give them all this money. And it's like, okay, well, if we're going to spend taxpayer dollars on this stadium, like, they should be forced to, like, invest in players, right? Like, they should be forced to like, have a good baseball team. You know? Like... It's crazy, because think about it. If let's say you were a vendor for the government and you received government funds to do something, and then you just like didn't do it, like you would go to jail, you know? Right. And that's not to say that, you know, the athletics people have done anything criminal, but it's like if you're gonna what's it called? If you're gonna take money from the taxpayers, you'd better kind of figure it out, you know?
100%.
Oh my god. Dude, that was the choke of all chokes. But, I don't know. I mean, I'm glad that it didn't pass. I hope that the project emerges in a different form, right? Like, I hope that they still move studios to Nevada and, you know, invest in the economy. And I'm glad that they were interested in doing that. I just hope that they're still interested in doing it if it doesn't mean getting a massive handout from the state, right? And I think that's a naive thing to say, and it sounds naive to say out loud, but it's like, maybe you really cared about Nevada, right? And this would be a good time to show it, is, you know, invest in the state, and then people maybe will be more open to supporting your company. But it's like, I don't know. I'm just at a place where I see what people are saying in these surveys about not being able to make ends meet and being like actually fearful for their futures in the state. And I'm like, man, like we got all this money for Sony and Warner Brothers and whoever, but we have a doctor shortage. We have a teacher shortage. We have like a, you know, like, where's that? You know, what's the deal with that?
Yeah, we need investments in like the resources that are going to tangibly help us.
Right. Like
where is that?
The fundamentals of governing, right? Is like, what are the public services that we should be providing, and how do we invest in those rather than like, you know, how do we make it easier for a big company to come here? Because I don't know, I'm not like an economics guy, but like I understand that there's like the trickle down effect of you move a big business to town, everybody has jobs, they spend more money, like it gets through that way. But like, to some extent, when you offer like I think about states that give Tesla like huge bonuses to or tax
Like
benefits.
ours?
Yeah, like Nevada,
Like
for
the
example.
Boring Company,
Right? But so
like
that's
covering up the
Boring Company thing's
poisoning,
crazy
yeah.
too. Like just poisoning.
You heard about that? How like they yeah? Okay, you were about to talk about it. My bad.
No, you're good. I was just gonna say like poisoning like our environment and then hiding it, and then like they just said, oh well, actually it's fine. It turns out it's fine.
They were gonna get violation. Wasn't it reported like earlier this week that they were gonna get violations because there's like some poison in their tunnels? Firefighters got like 4 firefighters got poisoned or something. I'll share it in the Discord. But then they were about to get fined for it, but then Lombardo last minute like forgave him or something. Like they're not gonna get charged anymore.
Yeah, it's madness, frankly. And I don't know. For me personally, I feel like the time to pull the permits on Tesla, or not on Tesla, on Boring Company, was around the time that they went like full fascist, right? Like the moment we had the salute at that event, I was like, I don't know if I want that guy digging tunnels under my community, you know? But like this story, I don't know. And that's the problem is some of these companies, they just like don't give a shit about basic safety standards. And then there are a lot of people going here, by the way.
I think my game is glitched now.
Oh no, dude.
I'm still on the like character screen.
So I can see you, and you're just kind of floating in the sky. Now you're kind of falling a little bit. Are you in?
No.
No? Well, who's this then?
Here, let me share my screen real quick.
Dude, I'm going to your location because I need to know.
Look, it's just this is my screen right now. Like I can move it and everything, but I can't see anything.
Oh, that's so funny, dude. That makes sense because you were kind of falling like that. Well, not to worry. I'm about to die anyway because I'm going to pick a fight I can't win.
Weird. Yeah, I'm going to leave that party real quick.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, dude. If I could hit a shot, I would have been goated there. But I actually can't play this game. I don't know how. I've never played a video game before, apparently.
Okay. I think we're good. What's my feedback? Last season? It sucks.
Oh, shit. Oh, somebody's rebooting.
Yeah, no, I think I have to restart this because it's not working. What is up? Epic Games, what the hell?
I just ruined that guy's day.
So you picked a fight you couldn't win and won?
Yeah, I guess I did win that one.
Let's go. Wins a win, wins a win.
Yeah, you gotta take him where you can get him these days.
Let's hope it doesn't break this time.
Yeah, I believe, dude. I believe. I feel like I'm hearing footsteps, but it's not giving me a footstep indicator. I will say, though, one thing encouraging, a good thing, if you can believe it, is I feel like it was interesting to watch a coalition of, like, the most progressive progressives and the most conservative conservatives come together and say, this is dumb, and that's that. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
just interesting sort of, you know, what do they say? Interesting bedfellows in politics, right? And I think that that's very much so a big part of what the opposition to the studio bill was. Uh-oh. I'm about to get hit by a vehicle, I'm pretty sure. Should hide until it passes. Okay, cool. I've hit.
Yeah, isn't it kind of wild? A lot of my colleagues, since we're a national organization, or we started one as first, a lot of them, you know, got some colleagues in Michigan, Arizona, Wisconsin, and when I have conversations with them, like the way I feel like for me it's been like we had such a high with Mondami's win.
Yep.
And then we got disappointed with the vote, and then locally we're like in dismay that so many like leadership Democrats are like for this, especially when like I feel like it's the giveaways like these are deeply unpopular with their bases. They're still shoehorning it in, cutting off telephonic testimony, making it as hard as possible for people to, you know, have their voice heard. And you're supposed to be the, like, leadership's supposed to be our guy, but they're not being our guy, you know?
Right. Well, it's
it's yeah, go ahead.
It's like Finding Nemo, right? Friends like these, who needs anemones, you know? That's a terrible reference, but the actual saying, the friends like these, who needs enemies, I think it's true, because it is like, to some extent, you know, if you get elected to be, you know, a progressive champion or what have you, and then when you get into office, you're like largely kind of progressive, mostly liberal, and then like, you know, you get sort of like a little feisty when people come at you and say, hey, you're not really being progressive enough for us. I don't know. It's just like, you're not actually being helpful. Like, there's a point where you ride the fence so much that you're like actually not, like, the reason you got elected in the first place is like no longer valid. You know, it's like, you're elected to be a Democrat. Could you please be a Democrat, right? And I'm sure there are Republicans who feel the same way. But it's like, if we have to fight you for very basic shit like the right to testify on the phone, like so how did that work then? Like, you had to go to the office in Southern Nevada, or is it something where like you go ahead? Sorry.
So yeah, so my understanding from the you know, friends and folks who you know, did participate, they had to be in the legislative buildings either here in Vegas and on Amigo Street, or, you know, up in the Capitol, for anyone up north. And like, inherently that poses a barrier for folks, you know, who don't have transportation, who might be working, you know, at the same time or anything like that. Like, having the option to call in is so much easier. And then, you know, if anyone has kids or anything, some of these meetings go on for hours.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, okay, it started at 3, but we're going on till like 9 p.m. People are going to have to leave. Like, it's just so inconvenient. And like, well, I feel like what's even crazier, among multiple days, they let assembly members vote remotely and call in remotely while they put that telephonic restriction in the assembly. Like, democracy for me, not for thee. Like, what?
Right. Well, it's such a bad look, and that's so true about these meetings. Like, if you've ever gone to a public meeting, especially one with public comment, like, I'm glad everybody gets the opportunity to talk and that sort of thing.
I immediately got murked. Oh my God.
I'm also struggling here. It's lagging a little bit for me. I'm getting some pretty serious rubber banding. I think my connection might be completely shitting the bed. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you all right.
Oh, cool. Okay. Must just be a Fortnite thing then. But yeah, no, if you've ever been to a public meeting, you know that, like, public comment in particular can go on and on and on, and not in a bad way, right? Like people are testifying for something they support or oppose or whatever. That's great. But there's also definitely, if you've ever watched Parks and Rec, where they're like, I found a sandwich at the park, and like that's their entire public comment. It's very much so.
Yeah.
Like it's due in as many words. Yeah. It's important, and it's, you know, like you said, democracy for like, you are Democratic Party elected officials. Like, what the fuck are we doing? What are we doing even entertaining the idea?
Now you're roboting out a little.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think my internet's having a moment here.
Okay, you're back.
Yeah.
You're back. I didn't realize it dropped so far away from you. Holy shit.
Well, I walked away. I walked away a little bit because I was trying to not get killed. But what's it called? Yeah, so the idea that it would be Democrats or progressives who would be implementing these rules, like, that's crazy. That's like day one, be a progressive shit. Like, you can't be a Democrat. You can't claim to be any direction left of center and say, you know what we need is less public testimony at government meetings. Like, it's just antithetical to the entire idea.
Right.
Oh, I'm gonna die for sure if I take that fight.
And like for what, right? When it's like the party as a whole is undergoing this crisis where people don't feel like it's a political home, and instead of, like, I don't know, doing the smart thing and making it feel like a political home, you're turning away working people this way. Like, what? Come on now.
No, it's definitely crazy.
Or like another crazy thing coming about it. Yeah, we're supposed to only call these under emergencies. Let's put a crime bill in this when, like, the crime is going historically down and, like, trending down. Yes, we need a regressive crime bill to vote on, which I haven't followed up today on it. I'm not sure if that one passed or not, but that one's I feel like equally as horrible.
Yeah, the crime bill failed. The crime bill had failed.
Oh, good.
Or no, did it? I'm pretty sure it did. I think pretty much everything failed.
Like, I know we got the mail-in ballot provision thing passed in there.
Right, that went through. I'll have to.
I know the housing one died, unfortunately. That would have been interesting.
Yeah, let me see.
I'm not sure if you saw, like, last minute they included the restricting corporate landlords from buying more than 1,000 houses.
Yeah, that one was really interesting. Sorry, I'm trying to see if the crime bill passed or not.
No worries. After you find out, I do have to hop.
Oh, okay.
Sorry for the limited amount of time. I could only hop for a little bit.
No, you're good, dude. Well, so we're gonna be doing another one of these, talking about the session when Christian's available next week.
For sure.
Well, not next week, because next week's Thanksgiving. At some point, we will be doing one.
Sure.
Would love to have you back for it, because Christian was all in the legislative session doing shit, and so I want to hear his take on things.
I saw his testimonies. Yeah,
did you see?
He gave some great ones. Yeah.
He had the most baller testimony on the crime bill, and I don't want to spoil it, right? I don't want to take his thunder on it, but I watched that and I was like, hell yeah, Christian, you go. But yeah.
Ooh, okay, excited here. I saw his on the film tax credit.
Oh, that's the one I meant. Sorry,
Star Trek. Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, the Star Trek thing was definitely that. That was the one, and the way he ended it, it was so funny. But I guess
ditto.
Yeah, ditto. Dude, so funny. I don't know what was going on with the senator. It's like, be nice, be nice.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay. Well, I'll let you go so you can get to it, and then I'll wrap up this, and we'll connect for next week.
Yeah, for sure. Just let me know. and I'll see if I can find a time.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks, man. Good hanging out.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Of course.
Take care. Have a great night.
You
Bye.
too. All right. Well, listen, folks. I think we are going to call it a night. I'm having some internet issues. We lost Angel, and so I think that's as good a time as any to put a pause on the stream for the evening. But I've got to coordinate with the other folks. I got to coordinate with Christian and see what his schedule is like, and then obviously we'll coordinate with Angel as well. I'm hoping maybe we can do something. Maybe we could do something on Monday next week or after Thanksgiving for our next stream. But I appreciate you tuning in. If you've been watching tonight, we've had some viewers tonight, which is exciting and positive, upward trend. Chloe Tyler in chat says, "What's up? How you doing?" I'm doing good. I'm hanging in there. We're wrapping up though, unfortunately. So I'm sorry. I see you just messaged that 2 minutes ago. So hopefully you've been around for a little bit longer. But in any case, it's been wonderful. It's been a lot of fun. Oh, webcam. There we go. But thank you guys for hanging out. I appreciate it. And we will see you next week after that, at some point. We'll see you at some point between now and